Hi, I'm Nikki. I live in Eindhoven, the Netherlands, and I'm going to be answering your questions. I kind of laughed when I heard this because they are the common stereotypes, but a few are true. The clog shoes, we don't wear them anymore. We used to in traditional clothing, but only a few farmers still wear them at work, but commonly people don't wear them. They only wear them for tourism, which is mostly up in the north, and I live in the south, where we actually never really wore them, only on farm fields, but nobody wears them now. Farms, we do have a lot of farms, but we also have a lot of big cities. We are a very technological and modern country. So we do have a lot of farms and a lot of acres, but it's mostly big cities as well. Isolated, we are not isolated at all. We're a very small country with a lot of people, which means that we don't have a lot of space. All the houses are tightly put together. There's not a lot of space between cities, towns, everything. You can get to A and B in 5-minute bike ride, and so we're not isolated at all. We're also very close to Belgium, Germany, France, Spain, Italy, so you can easily go and travel through Europe. So I don't think we're isolated. And rain, it does rain a lot in the Netherlands. I think that's a common stereotype. It is true. We do not have the best weather, but it's okay, but it does rain a lot, and Dutch people hate it, and you can always hear Dutch people complaining about it. So yeah, I think that those first words are funny because I get where they come from, but it is a very common stereotype. Is that stereotype true? No, it is not true. Blonde hair with braids. Well, as you can see, I am fully Dutch and I do not have blonde hair. I do not have braids, so that already says that. The stereotypical Dutch person does have very blonde hair and is mostly very tall. You can see that a lot up in the north, but as of the last 80 to 100 years, we have had a lot of migrants in Holland and in the Netherlands, and the stereotypical Dutch person has grown into a very big pile of how someone can look. Someone can have dark complexion, dark hair, but someone can also be very light and have very blonde hair. It doesn't make them more or less Dutch, and there are a lot of different people that look different and that are still Dutch. So no, I don't think that stereotype is true. And in our traditional clothing, so what they mostly wear in the north for tourism, we do wear braids, but that is a tradition that is from a long time ago and nobody does it now. Curly hair, I don't think that's a stereotypical Dutch thing. People have curly hair, but I don't think that Dutch people have curly hair more than others throughout the whole world. So yeah, flower crowns, this is something I've never heard of. We don't wear flower crowns. It isn't part of our traditional clothing. We never wore them. You never see anybody wearing them, so that's not true. And traditional dresses, we do have Dutch traditional dresses. Nobody actually wears them. The only people that do wear them is in the north for the tourist attractions, but throughout the whole country, nobody wears them just for that. We don't really wear them with special occasions either. Maybe sometimes we do in some cities, like the very touristy cities like Volendam and Amsterdam. They do tend to wear them, but that's only to attract tourists. We never wear those. It's just a picture from 200 years ago that people did wear them. I understand that people think those things because I think that the Netherlands is put out there in the world as a very peaceful and good country that has everything like on a line, that has everything nicely arranged. Yeah, but it is more active and more modern than that people think. Calm, I don't think that our daily life is calmer than anyone else's. We are a very hectic, busy folk, and we don't sit still. We are hard workers. I don't think you can ever have calm streets here. Everybody's just biking and going to work, working out. So it's never calm. Biking, we do bike a lot. A lot of people bike from and to work, as well as going to school, returning from school, going to friends, going to the supermarket, all those kind of stuff. We do almost everything by bike. So we do bike a lot, and then the weekends you can see a lot of people just biking around for fun in the nature when it's good weather. Good education and job opportunities. We do have a very good education system. Everyone has to go to school till they're 18, and we don't do homeschooling, so everybody actually goes to a public school. We do have a very good education system. Our high schools are very good and very targeted, as well as our universities and colleges, and a lot of people do get a big opportunity to go to school because they are more affordable here than in the US. And the education that you get there is high quality. Job opportunities, we do have a lot of job opportunities. There are also a lot of job hunters and people that don't have jobs here, but our government is working really hard to get them one, and I think that overall we have good job opportunities. And lots of breaks throughout the day. I don't think we have more breaks throughout the day than any other people from around the world. We do have a lot of vacations throughout the year. We only have 6 weeks of summer vacation, but we have a lot of vacations throughout the year, and we have a lot of holidays that we celebrate, so we always get time off for that. No, I do not. I think a lot of people think that the Netherlands is Neverland from Peter Pan. It's not. We are a very happy folk. We are very happy people. We are known to have mostly good lives and happiness, but it's not like a fairy tale and it's not traditional at all. We are a very modern country, and we have a lot of technology, a lot of big cities. We do not live traditionally. We are very open-minded, modern people and country. We do have some villages, but we don't like live in the villages that you would see in movies about old Europe and that kind of stuff. We have very modern, new houses. Most of the people live in cities, and if they don't, they live on farms, but we don't really have the old traditional villages. And we have a very modern city. We have a lot of technical universities. Yeah, we are busy with all the modern things, and I think that the Netherlands is one of the most modern countries in the world. So we are developing and just growing as a people and as a country, so we are not traditional at all. We also don't really bother to keep up with traditional clothing and traditional things. We do have a few holidays that we celebrate, but we don't really have big traditions that we follow, and we are not a very traditional folk. Well, Zwarte Piet is a very important tradition here in the Netherlands, but it's actually linked to Sinterklaas. Sinterklaas is like Santa Claus, Saint Nicholas. He comes in the month of December with him and his pieten. Those used to be black Piets. Now we have changed them to just Piets. They come here, they give presents to children that are behaving well, and we celebrate it big. And on the 5th of December, we have Pakjesavond. So Present Eve, I guess, and kids sing songs, and Sinterklaas and his Pete's bring around the presents. The tradition is very old. I used to celebrate it that way with Black Pete, so it's something I grew up with. I personally, as a kid, never saw it as anything racist or that the Black Petes were below everyone else. But now looking at it, I do think it should change just because our society and our culture is changing, and that I think we need equality for everyone. So we should just make it equal, and so that everyone can enjoy it and there are no misconceptions about it, because it's a kid's tradition, so it should always be kept fun and no party should get hurt because of it. The story is that the Black Petes get their dark complexion because they go through the chimney, and with the chimney dust they get the dark marks. So now they have changed it to Roetveegpiets, so they have just the chimney marks, but they are not fully figured as a colored person, which I think is a very good thing, because we need to show that it still could be a tradition and the tradition hasn't changed. We only changed it so that it's equal and enjoyable for everyone, and I think that is good. It is very controversial. I think that if other countries didn't involve themselves in it, that it wouldn't have changed, because it has been this way since the start of our country, and in my time, I have never heard anybody complain about it. But I think it's something that should be fun and enjoyable, so we should change that so that it's enjoyable for everyone and it doesn't make anyone feel bad, because it still is a children's holiday and it is supposed to be fun and make everyone feel good. So if by this we can do that and make it equal for everyone, then it's totally okay. For little kids, nothing will change. They will still think that it's the best thing ever, and they won't see anyone differently because they now look different or are called different. It is a big change because we are actually used to calling them Black Petes, but now it's just Petes, which was a bit of change, but everyone in my surroundings does agree with it. It's a tradition, but traditions can change a bit, and now it changed a bit, but it hasn't changed the essence of the holiday. Well, of course, the US is a very big country with a lot of different people and a lot of different opinions. I think that the Netherlands is more united as a whole. We are a very united people. A lot of us think the same. We are very open to everything. We are very close people. I don't think there are that big of political differences here as there are in the US. In the US, you see that there are a lot of political differences about it. Here it's not. We have a lot of different religions living here, and most of the time all these things mash well together, and we don't really have problems with that. So politically we are more stable and very open-minded and united in our way of thinking. Also, the landscape is just very different. We are a very flat country. We don't have a lot of nature. It's kind of boring. We don't have mountains and all that kind of stuff. And in the US, of course, you have beautiful nature, you have mountains, you have beaches. We don't have a lot of those things, at least not down here in the South. Also, the way that Dutch people are, we are known to be very blunt, which I can say is true. An American would try to act nice to somebody if they didn't know this person or didn't like this person. Dutch people would just say it to your face. If you would bump into somebody, an American would mostly be like, oh, sorry, are you okay? That kind of stuff. A Dutch person will call you an idiot and move on. So yeah, that's a very big difference. We are also a very happy and crazy people. We love partying, we love drinking, we love going out. So I think that is motivation on our brains to work hard so that we can do a lot. We love exploring, and I think that is known that Dutch people are very worldly. We like seeing new cultures. We have a lot of different cultures here, and a lot of people try to get to know all the cultures. Another difference is we have very different houses. Our houses are very small and compact because we don't have a lot of space, so everything is close by. You can go everywhere by bike. You don't have to take the car. We have very good open transportation, so buses, trains, metros, and everybody can take them. So we have freedom from a very young age because we can go everywhere by ourselves, and that is very nice. And you see that in the US, mostly people start to get their freedom when they have their driver's license because the distances are just bigger than here. Well, in Netherlands, we are actually a Protestant country. Our king is Protestant. But down in the south where I live, we are Catholic. A lot of people don't go to church or don't believe in the faith, but we do celebrate some holidays, as one is Carnival. It is a big festival of 5 days where it's just having fun, dressing up, and partying. Everyone gets off, nobody has to work. It's actually a national holiday for us in the south, and we just dress up like it's Halloween and party, and it is its own culture by itself. It has its own songs, it has its own traditions, and I would definitely recommend it to anyone coming here to visit while it's Carnival. Also, we have a lot of good foods. We have the stroopwafels, which is a wafer with caramel in the middle, and it's really, really good. Yeah, those things are really nice. Overall, the Dutch food is good. We have, of course, our famous French fries, waffles, all that kind of things. We eat a lot of fish because we have a lot of sea area. And yeah, so that's all very nice. I think that is it. Bye!